Good night, St. Lucia, and thank you for staying tuned to another edition of Newsmaker Live with me, your host, Laura Japier. Trending in the news this week. Is St. Lucia fast becoming the new Mexico, St. Lucia? And no, I'm not referring to our idyllic beaches and idyllic hotspots. I'm referring to the brutal savagery, hackings and choppings that we have been experiencing of late. And this has started since last year. Remember those savage choppings that we've had along the west coast and other parts of St. Lucia? And this has continued onto last week, the chopping and maiming of a Bexon man. And today we're hearing of a man who had, from Vieux-Fort, who had been chopped like a side of meat and tossed like so much garbage in a gutter, and he succumbed to his injuries. Why are we so angry? Experts will say that the mere brutality and savagery of such crimes indicates a people who are very angry, full of rage, and that those crimes are personal crimes. Why have we become a nation that is so angry? Also trending is in the news is the face of rape. Last week I dealt with the issue of rape and violence against women, and I must stop and take pause and thank all of our callers and all of our viewers, especially those of you who called in to share your experiences with us, your personal experiences. But rape is now, we used to think of rape as this scourge perpetrated by this vagabond and this smelly old person that, would just snatch us from behind, a coward who would just take us behind some bush or alley or behind some house and just have his way with us. But now we're learning that the face of rape has become younger and younger and more youthful. Today we learn of 4 young boys between the ages of 9 and 13 who raped a 12-year-old girl in Tobago. Now, I almost heard your collective sigh of relief, St. Lucia, that this atrocity did not happen in St. Lucia. But before we breathe that sigh of relief, let us remember that it was only about 3 weeks ago when the talk show host Rick Wayne told us about an incident where a 9-year-old boy asked an 8-year-old little girl to come sit on his nether region, his private parts. This is where it starts, St. Lucia. The face of rape is becoming more and more youthful, younger and younger. What are we going to do about this? Trending in the news as well is an issue that took me by surprise. And it should have taken all of us by surprise. And it's no laughing matter, and it's no matter to be taken very lightly. But I'm left to ask whether the resignation of the Justice Minister, Minister Lacobiniere, is imminent. It was a few weeks ago, at the height of a flurry of gun violence in known hotspots around the city, that the minister took to the airwaves to tell us that there's really nothing to fear, that we could pretty much walk anywhere in St. Lucia, and that the police are doing all that they can to ensure that we are safe. And he also told us that he is not afraid to walk anywhere without armed bodyguards or be armed himself. And I thought that was curious because he's well known to be armed at all times, at most times, if not all times. And today we're hearing that it's for about 2 weeks, allegedly for about 2 weeks, he has been assigned armed guards because of a threat to his life. Now, a threat to anybody is of grave concern, and we have to take it very seriously. Every life is important, not just those of our ministers, but all lives, young, old, woman, child, man, boy or girl. But what is curious, for me at least, is that the minister had said that the day he feels compelled to walk with armed guards, he would know that it's time to resign. So I ask the question, is the resignation of the minister imminent? And finally, has Alan Shastney finally turned a corner? It would seem that this man couldn't catch a break. I mean, he has been called anything from a liar to a thief to being criticized for every decision he has taken as political leader of the United Workers' Party. But this week, a judge deemed that he has done nothing wrong and that the major part of the case brought against him by the St. Lucia Labour Party administration as it pertains to the town council reports, a judge has deemed that he has done nothing wrong and has vindicated him, and even gone as far as awarding damages. Now, would it be a shocker to you, St. Lucia, to know that maybe the AG had suggested to the PM or advised the PM against taking this case to court, and that she didn't think that it was winnable? But you know what? Enough on this right now. There'll be more time to talk about it once the written judgment has been handed in. When we come back from the break, my guests.